We're going to have a quick discussion about man versus fat, which I know is something, Ollie, that you're really heavily involved in. And it's something that I wasn't aware, I wasn't even aware it existed until about 6 months ago. I think I started seeing posts come up on Facebook about it.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a rapidly growing thing. Do you want to just talk us through what it is and sort of how you got involved and sort of what the aim of it is, I guess?
Yeah, so Man v Fat, I suppose the clues in the name in terms of the trying to fight fat. So I was 22 stone 2 years ago, and I've subsequently lost 3 stone as a result of being on Man v Fat, and I've nowhere near got to where I want to be, but I'm on a journey, and I was very fortunate. Margate Man v Fat started just over 2 years ago, and a fellow tabler, Richard Harrop from Margate Round Table, said to me, "I'm going to this thing. It's really helping me with my weight loss. It's a bit of football. You love your football. Come and join me." And I went along, and there's a group of guys there, all with their clubs, and you get weighed every week. And then after you've been weighed, you play a football match. Really quite simple in that regard. But the difference being that the weight that you lose affects the score. So if you hit a milestone, so if you lose 5% of your body weight, or you lose 3 weeks in a row, or you track your food, that all contributes to the score. So we'll have a 6-a-side match afterwards, and like the worst team in our league might lose 9-0 on the pitch, but because they lost a load of weight during the week and completed one of the challenges and got extra goals, they might be able to reverse that result in terms of the off the pitch performance. And it's a really fantastic idea in my mind.
Amazing.
because accountability when it comes to weight loss is one of the biggest things. And
Yes.
being in a team of 10 guys and going, how are you doing today? What have you done to make a difference? And having guys supporting you and working through your problems and doing challenges together makes you just want it a little bit more. And at the end of the day, none of us want to go to Slimming World and go to these clubs that are female dominated. We want to go with like-minded people that share the same goals, a bit like Table in that regard. You want to be with like-minded people that want to do the same thing as you, and it works fantastically for a lot of people. Some people it's not right for because they don't like the accountability side. It puts on too much pressure. But for some people, it's absolutely the best way to get to their objective. And we've been really fortunate in Margate Man v Fat that we've got a coach that is an absolute diamond, and we've ended up we do charity games every month, so we're raising probably a couple of £100 a month in charity games, playing different local charities, etc. We've entered the Man v Fat has an 11-a-side tournament, so we're now playing 11-a-side football on top of our normal stuff, playing in the National League of Man v Fat. So there's all this extra stuff that goes on with it, and the beauty is that there's over 150 clubs in the country, so it's not exclusive to Margate. It's actually in quite a lot of the major towns and cities across the country. So if anyone is feeling like it's the right place for them, you can go along, see what they're about, and see if it's right for you and shed some pounds. And one thing I can say is when in terms of Round Table, there's quite a lot of us carrying some extra timber, and so it's helpful. And I think there's a lot of synergy between Round Table and Man v Fat in the sense that playing football isn't for the old guys. I'm 37. I still think I can play football, but I'm at the twilight of my career, if I can call it a career. But also, but also it's the like-mindedness element. The accountability, and Margate Roundtable has got members from our association with Margate Man v Fat and vice versa. Margate Man v Fat has got members that are part of Table, because a tabler introduced me to Man v Fat, and vice versa. We've subsequently introduced Table to a couple of Man v Fat members. So it's been quite a good collaboration between us. And you never know, in the near future, Margate Man v Fat might be affiliated to Margate Football Club. So I might actually be wearing this shirt on the basis of representing rather than paying my hard-earned money for this kit.
I think you touched on it there. It's about the accountability is really important, isn't it? And whoever's come up with this idea is an absolute genius, because he's probably and I can't understate this enough. He's saving lives. He's literally saving lives, because we know that cardiovascular disease is one of the biggest killers in the UK, just generally. I think in the population, stroke, heart attack, type 2 diabetes, which and it all comes down to weight management, and stopping that. There's a big drive in the NHS. I don't want to go to like health podcasts on it, but there's a big drive in the NHS to sort of focus on that prevention rather than throw in medicines at people once they've gone too far down the line.
Massively.
And I feel like as a society, we haven't maybe normalizing is the wrong word, but I've experienced this huge. I mean, I'm definitely overweight. My BMI is, I think, 28 at the moment, which is overweight. Every time I tell people I'm trying to lose weight, they're like, "Oh, you don't need to lose weight." So as a society, I feel like we sort of mollycoddle each other a little bit to a degree. I mean, there needs to be. You've got to be in the right frame of mind for it. You've got to be ready for change in order for change to happen. And like you say, that I guess that's what the team spirit really sort of helps with. But it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating, because they've literally taken the sort of Weight Watchers model but just built it into a football club type thing. And
that is a really important point you make there around that whole idea that we make being fat acceptable, because if I told you that I weigh 19 stone, everyone goes to me, "Oh, you can't weigh that. You don't look like that." But the truth is, I'm still over 4 stone away from my BMI. My BMI is still over 30. And all the time that's the case, I have to be honest with myself and say it's not good enough. And it's quite easy to accept that sort of gradual decline, should we say, in terms of maintaining your weight. And if you do something about it, even if you just stop the rot and stop yourself steadily gaining weight, at least you're being proactive. And you only have to be over 27.5 BMI to be eligible to join Man v Fat. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I did look at them in all seriousness. I thought this would be really good. I get to play football as well as shift a bit of and also it provides a bit of a social element to it. But it's definitely one of those. I mean that's not even touching on the mental health side of things, because that's obviously going to massively help for guys huge, that are a bit isolated as well. And all of a sudden you've got a support network and a community that
massive
and comedy value as well, because we've got 12 football teams now. There's 120 guys in our group, and every single football team's got a really funny name. So
are they like fancy football names? Is it like?
So we've got a purple team that are called Monster Munch and Gladbach.
That's good.
And they've got the pickled onion Monster Munch man as their sign, and we've got Friar Nord, obesity, and so like even stuff like that is it takes the mick out of what we're doing in a way, but it's for the right reasons. to try and promote the fact that we're acknowledging we're overweight and doing something about it.
Well, that's really interesting. Really interesting to hear about that. And I think what we'll probably do is they've got a national website, haven't they, Man Beat Fat?
Yeah.
So for anyone who is interested, you can go to the. I know because I've done this. You can go to the website and they will take you through the process. You have to fill in some details, and then there's like a central sign up process, and then you get picked from a pool of people to then join your local club, don't you? I think that's how it works.
And sometimes when I first joined, fortunately, Kent County Council were doing subsidising. So they were actually supporting the process and providing funding to allow people to join free of charge. So in some areas, the councils are supporting Man v Fat. So if cost is an issue, there might be a case for you getting subsidised funding so that you can continue to work on your weight loss journey, because, as you say, it's important, and it helps potentially keep you away from the door of the GP, for example. So it might not. It might help in that regard. To if you're in an area that gets supported by the council, you might get free membership for a while.
And is there a flat cost across the country, or is it regional?
Yeah, so it's £31 a month, and that covers all of your support and your one match a week.
And that's
low. You'd be paying that anyway, wouldn't you?
That's lower than gym.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cost of football is now, but I mean, it was definitely like around that to play 11 aside. You're probably not seeing much change from a tenner every week.
Exactly. Yeah.
In my case, to stand on the sidelines and run the line.
Yeah, pretty much. What my experience.
Yes. Yeah.